Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, honorable advocates, administrative advisors, respected ministers and doctors, all my dear friends, I respect, thank, welcome for your presence today. It is very nice time, nice place, nice action that we are appreciating, admiring, praising, and approaching our holy Indian culture and its cultural varieties, adversities, diversities in the form of unity and diversity. I once again thank all my dear friends. Let us go through what changes we see around the world, in our society, in our thoughts, ideas, personally, professionally, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. Okay, let's start. Thank you. Land grabbers must be dealt with iron hand, Supreme Court says. News from New Delhi. The Supreme Court on Monday said, as it promised, to go deep to find the truth on how a century old building housing a public library at Karol Bagh was demolished. A bench of Justices Suryakant and Ujjal Bhuyan was ached after being informed it was not the Municipal Corporation of Delhi that demolished the building in 2018, but an official who had acted on an oral order. The Supreme Court was further displeased when it found no one from Delhi Library protest the case, and no counsel was authorized to appear in the matter. Land grabbers must be dealt with iron hand, the bench had told senior advocates as Muralidhar, appearing for private firm Dimple Enterprise, which is the owner of the property, and reportedly wanted to construct a commercial complex in place where once the building stood. Justice Suryakant told Muralidhar, we will go deep to find the truth. We will pass orders even without the petitioner Delhi Library Board contesting the case. The bench added, you private firm MS Dimple Enterprises must have colluded with the MCD and library officials. You must have bribed them. The first Delhi Public Library was started by then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru near the old Delhi railway station in 1951. The Delhi Public Library is an autonomous body, is funded by the Ministry of Culture and has around 45 branches and mobile libraries in the national capital. The bench issued a show cause to the officials of Delhi Library Board why they were not appearing in the matter. It asked the MCD to file a better affidavit giving complete details of the property, who resided there, and the current owner. After terming the affidavit filed by the civil the civic body as misleading, the bench said it would enlarge the scope of its investigation to include the possibility of collusion of library board officials with the private firm. Mullidhar said the dilapidated building housing the public library was a 100-year-old structure demolished by the MCD. He said there was no material on record to suggest collusion of any kind between the officials of library or MCD officials with the firm, and there was no mention of any bribe being paid. Justice Suryakant read out the affidavit filed by the MCD and said the civic body had accepted it had no record of any demolition of the building, whereas an official executive engineer acted on oral orders. Mr. Muralidhar, you know very well how these things work. It is surprising that you are defending the land mafias. Do you think that the MCD official acted on his own? He must have acted on the oral direction of the MCD commissioner. Within days of the order of the High Court, the building was demolished without giving them space to approach the High Court for relief. Justice Suryakant said the judge went on to add, thankfully, on the first hearing of the matter, the bench comprises Justice M.B. Locure ordered for the statue queue on the property. Denying any collusion, Muralidhar said the firm had nothing to do with the demolition exercise. The bench posted the matter on January 8, 2025. On November 25, the Supreme Court came down heavily on the MCD for demolishing the building that housed a public library without giving a chance to the affected party to seek relief and said there is no divine power which can wake you up. It had questioned how the civic body demolished the building that housed the library since 1954 without waiting for the parties to approach the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had noted that the Delhi High Court passed an order on September 10, 2018 in the matter and without even giving a breathing time to the tenants and other occupants of the building approach the Supreme Court. The MCD demolished the building at around 8:30 a.m. on September 18, 2018. The Supreme Court had further sought to know the hidden circumstances for which the MCD denied the party the right to approach it. The Supreme Court said its interim order of September 2018 would continue till further orders. On September 18, 2018, the Supreme Court ordered that no portion of the property at Carol Bagh would be demolished. It is all from the front news. Now you are listening. BJP Kong up gear up for upcoming May poll in Chandigarh. Kong likely to back up for mayoral post again. News from Chandigarh as the January 2025 Chandigarh mayoral elections approach. All the political parties, including Bharatiya Janata Party, Congress, and Aam Aadmi Party, are gearing up to retain the key municipal positions, banking on their numerical advantage in 35 members Chandigarh Municipal Corporation House. The new mayor will be a woman as per the city's 5-year mayoral rotation system. Currently, the India Bloc, AAP and Congress commands 21 votes in the MC House, 13 from AAP, 7 from Congress and 1 ex officio vote of MP Manish Tiwari. In contrast, the BJP has only 15 votes and is relying on cross-voting or defection of India Bloc councillors to take the balance in its favour. Meanwhile, BJP in charge and Ghaziabad MP Atul Garg on Monday presided over a meeting with party councillors and office bearers and discussed with them issues related to the mayor election in detail. Strategies regarding the same were also decided in the meeting. Chandigarh BJP President Rajinder Pal Malhotra and Himachal Pradesh BJP co-in-charge Sanjay Tandon were also present on the occasion. Tandon called upon the councillors to maintain the unity of the party and work with discipline and dedication during the election. Talking to reporters, BJP in charge and Ghaziabad MP Atul Garg said that all the 15 elected BJP councillors are united for the municipal corporation mayoral elections to be held in January. Garg expressed confidence that party councillors will strongly carry forward the party's policy and principles by demonstrating unity in the House. The BJP councillors are committed to the policy of development and transparency in Chandigarh, and this election is an opportunity to further strengthen the public's trust, he added. Chandigarh BJP President Malhotra said, our objective is to give a new direction to the development of Chandigarh and to live up to the expectations of the public. He further said that during the meeting, the councillors talked about making collective efforts to realize the party's vision. All the councillors promised to live up to the party's policies and the expectations of the public. Councillors assured that they will work with full honesty and hard work to solve the problem of their area and give priority to public welfare works, he added. Sources said that leaders of AAP and Congress are making strategies regarding the upcoming mayor election at their party level. India Bloc Alliance partners, AAP and Congress are likely to stick to their winning formula from last year. AAP begging the mayor's post and the Congress taking the senior deputy mayor and deputy mayor roles that had helped them unseat the BJP from the mayor's post after 8 years of control. Names of probable candidates for mayor post and senior deputy mayor and deputy mayor are being discussed by the senior AAP and Congress leaders. Senior leaders of India Bloc Alliance are likely to hold a joint meeting regarding the same soon, sources added. Talking to reporters, Chandigarh Congress President H.S. Lucky said, our alliance is elect and together we will fight against the BJP. Both the parties have yet to sit together for discussion on candidates for each post. When contacted, AAP's co-in-charge Ahluwalia said that the mayoral candidate had not been finalized yet. In the previous mayoral polls, the mayoral seat was allocated to AAP in exchange for MP seat for the Congress. We wholeheartedly supported Congress in the Lok Sabha polls, and as per our agreement, we are confident of securing the mayoral post this time. He added, it should be mentioned here that in Chandigarh, the elections for the three municipal posts are held annually in December end or first week of January. According to the rotation system, the first term is reserved for a women candidate from general category, the second is for any candidate from general category, third for a candidate from scheduled caste category, fourth for a women candidate from general category, and fifth for general category. Seats for the senior deputy mayor and deputy mayor are not reserved. Haryana CM flags of Arogya bike for health services in morning. News from Chandigarh, Haryana Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini on Monday flagged off the Arogya bike for health services in the morning area. Saini inspected the Kalam Express ambulance for children with special needs. Along with this, he also inaugurated a Pakshi Niwas in the Mata Mansa Devi Gaushala premises after attending a blood donation, eye checkup and health checkup camp at Mata Mansa Devi Gaushala on the occasion of 73rd birth anniversary of former Union Minister and Ambala MP late Ratan Lal Kataria. Saini said that there is no greater donation than blood donation. Blood is an important link in saving life. Everyone should donate blood voluntarily. On the occasion, he encouraged the youth who donated blood and also interacted with them. Many youths have voluntarily donated blood more than 20 times. Such youth also inspire others to donate blood, he said. More than 200 units of blood were collected in this blood donation camp organized in collaboration with Red Cross Society, Civil Hospital Panchkula, and Sri Dhanvantri Ayurvedic College and Hospital, Sector 46, Chandigarh. Talking to reporters, the Chief Minister said that since 2014, the BJP government has done 1.5 times more development work than the Congress government in the last 10 years, and as a result of this, people have formed the BJP government for the third consecutive time in Haryana. Saini further said he will go among the people constituency wise and thank them for forming the BJP government for the third time. An action plan for this being prepared. In response to a question regarding the urban local body elections, the Chief Minister said as and when the Haryana State Election Commission announces it, we will be ready for the elections. Approves shifting of Guru Mandi Good Mandi to new grain market in Karnal. In another event, the Chief Minister approved the shifting of Good Mandi from the old grain market to the new grain market in Karnal. Apart from Jagri, permission has also been given to shift the fodder, pulses and spices markets to this new grain market. The government spoke the government spokesperson said that while this decision of the Chief Minister will provide relief to city residents from the congestion in the old grain market, traders of other items including jaggery will also benefit. The main agricultural products like wheat, maize, jaggery, etc. were bought and sold in the old grain market of Karnal. In 1999, a new market was developed in Karnal where the grain related products were shifted. After this, in 2014, the fruit and vegetable market was also shifted to this new grain market. The spokesperson said in the layout plan of the new grain market, a provision was made for fodder market, jaggery market, spices market and pulse market, but a notification in this regard could not be issued, due to which the market of the above items could not be shifted to the new place. The Chief Minister has now given approval in this regard so that the fodder market, jaggery market, spices market and pulses market can be shifted to the new grain market. While this will provide a lot of convenience to the traders of Karnal, the market committee will also see an increase in revenue after this decision, the spokesperson added. You are listening this news from Sirsa, from the news service of the Pioneer. Dalewal's hunger strike enters day 21, refuses medical assistance. Punjab MPs rally behind farmers. Dalewal health issue raised in Parliament. Farmers in Haryana hold tractor march to support protesting Punjab counterparts. News from Chandigarh. In brief, UT administrators inspects Government Medical College Hospital in Chandigarh. This news also from Chandigarh. Western Command celebrates Vijay Divas. Chandigarh, to commemorate Vijay Divas, a wreath laying ceremony was organized at Veer Smriti in Chandi Mandir to pay homage to all the brave hearts who made supreme sacrifice in the service of the nation during 1921 war. Serving officers, veterans including previous army commanders and gallantry award winners paid tributes to their fallen comrades. The silence observed by all ranks present echoed session as an chilling resolve. During this war, the Indian Army demonstrates its selflessness and willingness to fight for the worthy cause of liberating a vast section of humanity against oppression and the persecution. The 13-day war ended with the birth of Bangladesh and the surrender of more than 90,000 Pakistan army personnel. It is one of the most swift and bravely fought military campaigns, with India emerging decisively victorious. Dear friends, you are listening news from Chandigarh, written by, presented by the pioneers in the lap of nature. SGPC chief appears before Punjab Women's Panel over defamatory remarks against Bibi Jagir Kaur. News from Chandigarh. BJP expels 13 leaders including ex-minister over anti-party activist. This is also from Chandigarh. BJP on Monday expelled 13 leaders including senior leader and former minister Bhagat Chunilal and Bharatiya Janata Party Yuva Morcha leader Arjun Trehan for indulging in anti-party activities. The decision marked a firm stance by the Saffron Party as it geared up for the upcoming municipal corporation elections. Bhagat Chunilal, a veteran BJP leader, is the father of cabinet minister and Aam Aadmi Party. MLA from Jalandhar West, Mohinder Bhagat, reports suggested that Chunilal's association with AAP to his son raised concerns within the BJP. His presence at celebration following his son's elections victory under the AAP banner added to the friction. Arjun Trehan, another expelled leader, had publicly criticized the BJP leadership after being denied a ticket for the municipal elections. Trehan's actions deemed detrimental to party disciple were cited as a key reason for his expulsion. Among the expelled leaders is also Indrapal Bhagat, whose activities reportedly contravened party principles. The BJP's Jalandhar unit on Monday issued a detailed statement confirming the expulsions, emphasizing that the action was necessary to uphold party discipline and unity. The statement revealed that complaints had been lodged by a senior district leader regarding Chunilal's conduct during the Jalandhar West by election, wherein support for AAP indirectly weakened BJP's prospects. Chunilal had been a significant figure in Punjab politics, having served as a BJP minister during earlier regimes. However, his son Mohinder Bhagat's defection to AAP last year further strained ties. Mohinder Bhagat's success as an AAP candidate in the Jalandhar West by election, followed by his appointment as a cabinet minister, added fuel to the political rivalry. HP CM Himachal Pradesh CM releases government calendar for year 2025. Shimla Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu on Monday released the government calendar for the year 2025, which has a picture of various innovative schemes of the state government. The calendar has been brought out by the state's printing and stationery department. Revenue Minister Jagat Singh Nagi, Education Minister Rohit Thakur, Chief Minister's Principal Advisor Media Naresh Chauhan, Printing and Stationery Secretary Priyanka Basu Controller, Printing and Stationery Department, Prabha Rajiv, Director, Information and Public Relations, Rajiv Kumar, and other senior officers were also present on this occasion. News from PNS. Now, news from the Pioneer paper with passion. Economy slowed down. India, celebrated as the fastest growing economy in the world, is showing signs of slowdown. India is facing a pivotal moment as it navigates a notable slowdown between July and September 2024. The country's GDP growth rate fell to 5.4%, its lowest in 7 quarters, and well below the Reserve Bank of India's RBI forecast of 7%. While this growth rate remains enviable compared to developed economies, it highlights significant structural challenges that could impede India's long-term economic ambitions. The implications of this slowdown are multifaceted. A decline in turn a decline in consumer demand and muted private investment have curtailed economic momentum. Sales of fast moving consumer goods have dropped. Wage bills of publicly traded firms have shrunk, and urban spending has softened. In November alone, car sales plunged by 14%, underscoring the waning strength of urban consumption. Rising inflation adds another layer of complexity. In October 2024, inflation surged to 6.2%, exceeding the RBI's target ceiling of 4%. Escalating food prices driven by climate disruptions and inefficiencies in supply chains have inflated costs across sectors, further squeezing disposable incomes. This slowdown has also placed pressure on India's exports, which account for just 2% of global goods trade. A stronger dollar and rising tariffs have eroded the competitiveness of Indian products in international markets. Compounding the issue is stagnant job creation, particularly in agricultural, manufacturing, and small scale industries. Collectively, these factors are eroding confidence in India's growth narrative despite the government's optimistic outlook. The roots of this economic deceleration lie in several factors. Demand weakness is a central issue while rural demand remains relatively resilient thanks to a favorable monsoon. It alone cannot offset the broader slowdown. Restrictive monetary policies have further constrained growth. To combat inflation, the RBI has kept interest rates steady for 2 years, leading to high borrowing costs that discourage both business investment and consumer spending. Global and domestic challenges compound the problem. Slowing global demand and climate related disruptions in agriculture have adversely affected exports and food production. Additionally, the RBI's intervention to stabilize the rupee by selling dollars have inadvertently tightened liquidity, slowing economic growth. A stronger rupee, while stabilizing in some aspects, makes Indian exports more expensive and less competitive internationally. Addressing these challenges requires targeted solutions. Boosting consumption through wage growth could be a key strategy. Policy measures that reduce bureaucratic hurdles, provide tax incentives, and simply labor and land laws can unlock the potential of small and medium enterprises, which form the backbone of the economy. Tackling inflation and strengthening supply chains will also play a critical role in stabilizing the economy. South Asia, 2 decades of turmoil. Santosh Mathew. December marks two pivotal anniversaries: Soviet intervention in Afghanistan and Kandahar hijacking that changed South Asia's geopolitics. Addressing South Asia's fractured security landscape requires collective action. Countries in the region must transcend historical animosities to combat terrorism and address shared challenges like extremism and socio-economic disparities. December marks two pivotal anniversaries that significantly influenced South Asia's geopolitical landscape: 45 years since the Soviet Union's intervention in Afghanistan and 25 years since the hijacking of Indian Airlines flight IC-814 from Kathmandu to Kandahar. Despite occurring 2 decades apart, these events underscore the fragility of South Asia and the profound influence of external powers and non-state actors in shaping the region's trajectory. On December 24, 1979, Soviet troops entered Afghanistan to support the struggle communist regime in Kabul led by Babrak Karmal. This intervention, ostensibly aimed at stabilizing Afghanistan, set off a decade long occupation and transformed the country into one of the Cold War's fiercest battlegrounds. The repercussions extended far beyond Afghanistan, triggering global, regional, and internal upheavals that persist to this day. The Soviet invasion catalyzed a chain of events that hastened the disintegration of the Soviet Union and radicalized South Asia. The Mujahideen fighters, armed and financed by the United States, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and other allies, became formidable force against the Soviet. This external patronage laid the groundwork for militant extremism, which would later engulf the region. The Soviet intervention underscored Afghanistan's strategic importance as the fulcrum of great power politics. Pakistan emerged as a critical player, acting as a frontline state in the anti-Soviet effort. 2 decades later, on December 24, 1999, South Asia faced another defining moment when Indian Airlines flight IC-814 was hijacked on en route from Kathmandu to Delhi. Five armed men commandeered the aircraft, eventually forcing it to land in Kandahar, then under Taliban control. What ensued was a week-long standoff that exposed the vulnerability of regional counter-terrorism strategies and marked a turning point in how nations approach security and terrorism. The Kandahar hijacking exposed the evolving nexus between terrorism and geopolitics in South Asia. The Taliban's willingness to shelter the hijackers highlighted its transition into a state sponsor of terrorism. For India, this incident was a stark reminder of the threats posed by the cross border terrorism, often enabled by Pakistan's support for extremist proxies in Afghanistan and Kashmir. The release of Masood Azhar not only emboldened groups like JAM but also underscored the growing influence of non-state actors in undermining regional stability. Although the Soviet intervention and the Kandahar hijacking may seem unrelated, overcoming fear to unlock limitless possibilities. Sanjay Chandra. Embracing the unknown is essential for innovation, resilience, and Realizing our true potential. Humans possesses four basic emotions: happiness, sadness, anger and fear. Each has a unique place in our lives and shapes much of our responses to situations. The unknown is probably one entity that invokes all four emotional and suffers us into action. However, it is the fear of what we project onto the unknown that often paralyzes us into inaction. Action is built into our psyche. We must necessarily move even though we do not know the results of our endeavors. Instead of focusing on the happiness we will derive from excess, we let this uncertainty bog us down. We procrastinating, terrified of failure and refuse to take the next step. This is an all too familiar phenomenon that we encounter every day of our lives as we start going up the professional ladder. Many of us follow time tested formulas handed down to us by procedures, producers. We hesitate decisions contrary to the established norms, even though such decisions may result in substantial gains within the framework of certain acceptable risk. All our efforts are guided by that one decision. In 10 which did not click, we do not look at the 9 that did. We forget that as a child we had no fears when we started exploring the universe around us. We fell as we tried to get on our 2 feet, but were encouraged or even forced to keep trying till we mastered the art of walking, or for the matter everything. We also forget that we were not scared to take up a job after college, even though we knew nothing about the work we had to do. We learned from our mistakes. The worst was that we failed the first time, and the best was that we succeeded eventually. Ah, the joy of success. We forget that humans evolved due to an inherent desire to explore the unknown without a care for failure or success. New words were found and new inventions and scientific discoveries were made, all because of you dared to venture into the unknown. We deny ourselves the endless new opportunities that each new day brings. It is not that we do not possess the spirit, it is just that generations of conditioning have made it dormant till we are in a situation with our backs to the wall. Nowhere, now here is it more in evidence than in Jagat, the flexible approach to solve a problem innovatively when one has limited resources in our personal lives. We are told to pursue our dreams but are often guided towards the more tried and safer options. We do not even try to think of the endless possibilities and the heights that society can reach if everyone is encouraged not to fear the failure of the unknown but to think about success and is free to follow his or her heart. This is the contradiction that most of us from the earlier generation, specifically from the middle class, face when teaching the young. Fortunately for our race, the young of today are better prepared for the unknown with the availability of much better sources of information, which were also created by a few who dared the dream. We should teach the young to step out in the rain without an umbrella and get drenched. Let the sky be the roof. They should not regret that. They might have led a better life if they had not feared the unknown. Esmeralda Santiago sums it up so well. How can you know what you are capable of if you do not embrace the unknown? The writer is an author, speaker, coach, arbitrator, and strategy consultant. He conducts workshops on creative writing for young adults and corporate executives. The view expressed are personal. Next is Tabla Maestro Zakir Hussain passes away. Kirti Wadhwan Kanpur. The four-time Grammy Award winner, Indian tabla maestro and an innovative music fusion creator, Zakir Hussain is no more with us. The silence on his tabla is a huge loss for Hindustani classical music and jazz fusion. Zakir was truly an indelible gem in the world of music. The list of his national and international accolades is really long, as he had always made India proud with his tireless contribution in taking Hindustani classical music to collaborate and fuse with world music. Like his father, Ustad Dr.RK, Zakir always attempted to proceed to the legacy footprint of his father. His tabla virtuoso legacy had been curated in the golden letters in the history of Indian music because of his glorious contribution to music, taking an Indian 18th century membrane form percussion instrument to the world stage is truly an incredible achievement, and history will credit this legendary maestro, Zakir Hussain, for his pertinacious contribution towards Hindustani classical music. He will always stay alive in our hearts and continue to inspire the upcoming generations of music and instrument lovers. Debate of Constitution. Madam, the two-day debate on the Constitution, which began on 13 December, has seen heated discussion on the historical and contemporary significance of the Constitution. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh initiated the debate, emphasizing the collective efforts behind the creation of the Constitution. Though he accused Congress and Indira Gandhi for imposing an emergency and supersession of Supreme Court judges to charge Congress with violating constitutional principles, he lauded the progressive transformative nature of the Constitution that allows individuals from humble background to rise to the highest positions of power in India. The newly elected MP Priyanka Gandhi, an articulate and combative speaker, accused the government of undermining the constitutional promises of social, economic, and political justice over the past decade. Without mentioning the name of Jawaharlal Nehru, she lauded his contribution in creating so many public sector as well as government forms. She also warned the present government that his role in the freedom struggle and independent India could never be erased from Indian history. Concluding the debate, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the role of women members of the Constituent Assembly in making the Indian Constitution. He also hailed Indian democracy and reminded the journey of the Constitution. Victor Salvaras. Six nine to the significant display the cavalier attitudes towards applications filed under the